From a plain Minecraft recording that wasn't even a correct aspect ratio to one of the most successful YouTube channels on the platform, with each video easily surpassing 40 million views. MrBeast has cracked the YouTube algorithm and knows what works and what doesn't. But how? How did MrBeast go from 0 subscribers to 100 million? Jimmy Donaldson was born on the 7th of May in 1998 in the state of Kansas. Jimmy is the son of Sue Donaldson and brother of Charles C.J. Donaldson, who was born in Greenville, North Carolina. Sue raised them both while being in the military on active duty for around 20 long years, so she worked quite a lot, which actually caused the brothers to be born in different states entirely, so they moved around quite a lot. As a child, Jimmy didn't really like being around people, although he loved Legos a lot. This is where he learned he had an obsessive personality over things such as Legos, although he quickly moved on to baseball growing up. Baseball was his new obsession. He wouldn't do anything else like studying unless it had something to do with baseball. Baseball is quite an active and cooperative sport where you usually have to work with your team, but Jimmy had a hard time socializing with anyone. Although outside of sports, he was becoming hyper obsessed with YouTube and everything about it. At 12, Jimmy saw a video on the platform from one of his favorite YouTubers at the time, Woody's Gamertag, where he told his audience that he quit his actual job to go full time on YouTube. When Jimmy heard this, that's when it clicked for him that you can actually earn money through YouTube videos. That's when the thought came to his mind, hang on, I can actually do this. On the 20th of February in 2012, using his brother's hand-me-down laptop, Jimmy finally decided to create his very own YouTube channel with his childhood friend Chris there, who was his first ever subscriber and one of the only people that was also interested in YouTube and everything to do with it. But what to name it? Well, MrBeast 6000 was his randomly generated Xbox gamertag, so he decided why not name the channel the very same thing. Thus, the MrBeast 6000 channel was created, and thus, Jimmy's first ever YouTube video was released onto the platform.
Alright, where am I? What just happened?
After that low quality, incorrect aspect ratio, no editing involved video, he started to make commentary videos talking about random stuff over a variety of games, which eventually led to a new series where he talked about how much money YouTubers make and more. Although he never really told his mum about his channel. He was using the hand-me-down laptop, he didn't know how to edit a video, let alone pace it properly. He truly didn't know anything about editing or YouTube itself besides just recording and uploading. In 2013, when Jimmy was 15 years old, he got diagnosed with Crohn's, a disease which affects the gastrointestinal tract where your intestines are inflamed, and because of that, you don't really process food as well. You could eat something and it could go right through you, and it can get super painful. He lost a lot of weight, going from 180 pounds to 139, as well as losing a lot of energy, barely being able to get out of bed, not wanting to go to school, etc. This made him miserable. Having Crohn's led to playing baseball really rough for him, which inevitably stopped him from playing. With no baseball, he only had one thing he wanted to excel at, and from then on, he put all of his focus into YouTube and started to become beyond obsessed. Chris, however, thought it was more of just a hobby, that nothing too big would come out of it, until Jimmy started avoiding hanging out at the movies, and instead asked Chris to come over for help filming videos and just generally helping out with YouTube instead. His mum also thought it was just a hobby, but that he was just talking to his baseball friends or something or other, and after learning about the channel, she simply thought it was just a time filler during high school, just an experiment. Mostly because Jimmy wasn't really earning anything yet, there was nothing there proving that there was any success. Throughout the next few years, he was collecting scraps to get decent equipment to make better videos, getting his Windows phone, saving up money for a microphone, and then saving up money for around a year in order to finally purchase a computer, mostly in hopes that it wouldn't crash during editing. He was eventually able to convince his parents to get him a used iPhone. Then, he began to make real life videos with Chris, where the main goal in both of their minds was simply making people laugh. Eventually though, every night before bed, he would think about how all the work kinda just sucks. He's putting a lot in and getting nothing back. Although lucky for him, he had the mindset that if he just did it for long enough, eventually it'll work out for him. It has to. This was around the time he hit around 75,000 views, which is when he got his first $100 or so, earning around $30 a month. In 2016, he graduated from Greenville Christian Academy, a private secondary school. His mother always wanted him to go to college, while Jimmy's own personal goal was the complete opposite, to never have to go to college in the first place. He wanted to make enough money from YouTube that he wouldn't have to go, but he was still only making making a few bucks a day, so would it really be possible? His mother eventually had to give him the ultimatum going into the fall, that he can either simply stay in the house and go to college, but if he doesn't go, then he has to leave the house. So unfortunately, he went to college. He attended East California University, but he didn't actually go into any of the classes. Instead, he was filming videos and working on YouTube outside in his car. Maybe the ultimatum was a spark of motivation, so he went harder into it, because eventually it started to actually work out for him. Within the first month of attending college, he started making genuinely good money from YouTube, making around $1,000 a month. And when he started to see the payments coming in, he decided to finally admit to his mom about the fact that he hasn't actually been going to college, and he was going to drop out in order to pursue a full-time career as a YouTuber. The ultimatum though, this would change everything. Although, not really actually. He simply decided to move out the house and tried his best and succeeded to get Chris to move in with him too. Although Chris wouldn't be able to afford rent, so Jimmy decided to handle the money side of things for him, and after that, Jimmy and Chris ended up living together. After dropping out of college, he went all into YouTube. He woke up from his bed, went straight to working on videos all day, then went back to bed. There was no time for anything else, no time to do anything else. This is when he got insanely, but fully hyper-focused as well as completely and entirely obsessed with YouTube and everything surrounding it. For one of his videos, he decided to try something new. He decided to count to 100,000 in one recording. He did it indeed for around 40 hours. The video got a lot of attention, which he claims is his first real viral video. This video and the attraction it got helped it click for him that if he just does super interesting, unique ideas that other people wouldn't do and haven't done, people will just watch. Then he started to think of interesting ideas, which usually ended up being really long challenges. But they were unique challenges, as in no one would dare to do them, which actually caused him to gain a lot of attention. He even broke a world record with one of these ideas, spinning a fidget spinner for 24 hours. Throughout this time, he went from around 400 subscribers to around 750,000 subscribers, gaining millions of views. This is when he started to truly make it and was starting to become big. On the 16th of June in 2017, he got his first ever sponsorship offer from Quid. They offered $5,000 for a brand advertisement on one of his videos. He rang his mum about it, simply being over the moon about it, although to everyone's surprise, he said no. He instead argued relentlessly and convinced them to up it to $10,000 so that he could give it to a homeless person and make a video around that. So he got the money, put it inside an envelope, called Chris to film, and thus the famous video giving a random homeless man $10,000 came into fruition. After making that video, they actually went to go get dinner with the homeless man and talk to him about his situation, what he's going to do with the money, etc. From the video and the conversation itself, MrBeast felt really great. He felt true happiness simply by giving someone else that feeling of happiness. His mother could tell that his heart was impacted by this, how fulfilling it was for him. He kept talking about it over and over again, which only helped prove the impact that was made. With this, MrBeast had made one of the best decisions he ever had, which would help lead him down a highly successful road. The video itself did really well and earned him a lot of money, but instead of buying anything for himself, he decided to take the money from that video and instead do another. The next thing he did with Quid was tipping pizza delivery drivers a varied amount, although always a lot of money. They were all so emotional after being given the money, and it meant so much that one of the guys even decided to come back the next day, crying and in tears simply because he was able to finally take a day off work to spend time with his kid. Jimmy started to feel the impact of his actions, his impact on others. He then realized that if he takes the large amount of money that he could get from advertising and gives it all away in one video, then that video will inevitably do well and be successful. From that, he can take the money from that successful video and give it all away again, which will possibly be more successful than the last video, and then do it all again, basically creating a cycle of getting money and giving it away. He thought that he simply cracked the code and continued to give money away constantly. In 2018, Jimmy randomly arrived at his mum's house. His mother had absolutely no idea what was happening, but to her surprise, she was given a check for $100,000. Her son had helped pay her house off. This quickly and easily became one of Jimmy's happiest moments of his life. A giant thank you to his mother, giving back to the giver. To see his mother's happiness due to his actions, it meant everything to him. He eventually got a digital talent manager when the business at that point was simply to just get $1,000, spend $1,000. Although in between the videos where he'd give away all that money, they would film and create random videos, random challenges, etc. His channel was growing rapidly, and within 2019 he was able to get on the exponential curve where his channel exploded, including receiving large amounts of money. He inevitably bought things that anyone given a large amount of money would simply dream to buy, although he realized it didn't really fulfill him. Having a better car or more expensive clothing really didn't make a large difference to his own life. So to anyone and everyone's surprise, he sold it all, and then he never bought anything crazily expensive since. While coming up with crazy and insane video ideas, he came up with an idea to plant 1 million trees. He did a lot of research, calling a lot of companies and more to see if it's even possible, and unfortunately he learned it wouldn't be possible. Although for some reason, after learning it wasn't possible, he realized he was about to hit 20 million subscribers, so why not plant 20 million trees? He then put out a tweet asking for any help whatsoever to get this off the ground, which is when he came into contact with Mark Rober. They were talking about it endlessly, wondering how possible it was. They would brainstorm how they could turn it possible, but couldn't come up with anything. Through their research, they found and then got connected with the Arbor Day Foundation, who have planted millions of trees in the past, so they asked them if it would be possible to plant 20 million trees. Eventually, they landed on an idea where they would turn each dollar donated into 1 tree. They weren't even focused on making content about it at this point, just so that they could really get everyone to work together to plant an insane amount of trees. They had 2 months to get 20 million by the end of the year, so MrBeast reached out to a bunch of YouTubers to help promote it and help gain money for the cause. Everyone instantly agreed and began making content helping promoting the cause, which is when the donations started piling in. There were things like leaderboards, so then people kept trying to out-donate each other, which all in all led them to eventually hit $20 million for 20 million trees before the start of 2020. Team Trees was a success. Then COVID hit. This affected the channel a lot. They tried their best to do a lot of videos to help people during the virus outbreak who lost their jobs. There were huge shortages of everything during this time, so MrBeast got to his usual planning and then partnered with Smithfield to donate 2 million meals to his hometown. He then had an idea where he would buy everything from a store and then give it all to charity and to homeless shelters. The people who weren't a part of the video but at the store, well, they just got their shopping paid for. Everything for free. Next, he called a business to take over the restaurant and they agreed. So he then opened up his first ever restaurant where everything was once again free. The line got bigger and bigger until eventually it started to backing up traffic. It was insane. They even gave away cash to everyone, consoles to kids, etc., all while they served them the free food. He then thought, where next? All this generous effort into helping those in need, but he still wanted to do more, which is when he created his own food bank, where he started with 50,000 pounds of food in the warehouse, doing weekly deliveries to communities in need. The videos about this food bank would end up going on a completely new channel named Beast Philanthropy, where every scrap of money earned from that channel would go back into running the food bank, including brand sponsorships. That channel is specifically dedicated to helping out people in need, mostly to do with the food bank, opening up homeless shelters, etc. But every now and then they'll throw in some fun ideas like giving away merch and supplies for free to entire schools. No matter what though, it's an entire channel dedicated to simply helping others. Towards the end of 2021, MrBeast and Mark Rober partnered up once again with Team C's. This was the next big idea from MrBeast, which once again multiple YouTubers helped contribute to, where this time every dollar donated would lead to 1 pound of trash being removed from the ocean. Although the goal was to gain $30 million to remove 30 million pounds of trash from the ocean and seafronts. This might be a little harder than 20 million, but as always, it worked out. Team C's was a massive success, crossing $30 million just around the year's end. MrBeast's channel itself kept growing and growing from here on out, but one video would stand out amongst the others, in viewership, subscribers, and more. MrBeast went to TikTok and said that if the TikTok hit 10 million likes, he'll recreate Squid Game in real life. This is called demand marketing, creating a goal which he knew he would definitely hit quickly, making the viewers ask for and want the video that he already has the ideas for. In fact, it's entirely possible he was already planning, if not putting plans into action, when he released that TikTok. This TikTok easily crossed 10 million likes. In fact, right now it sits at 98 million views and 19.6 million likes. He then started to tease the video over many weeks until eventually the video was released on the 25th of November. This quickly became his most viewed video ever, gaining 42 million views in a single day, and now currently sitting at 282 million views with 14 million likes and over 600,000 comments. These are insane numbers, and of course, MrBeast crushed them. At this point, MrBeast has many channels which he dedicates to the gaming scene, the reaction scene, and even tackling shorts. He continuously puts out creative and unique content, and continues to remain humble and give help to those in need and the world itself. MrBeast is now a full-blown company, but Jimmy hadn't had his biggest moment just yet. On the 28th of July, MrBeast, Jimmy Donaldson, the kid that risked his entire college future, the kid that wanted nothing more than to be a YouTuber since 2012, he hit 100 million subscribers.
Look at it. Isn't it beautiful? 2,000.
4,000 subscribers. And if you were to ask me, okay, subs yesterday, sometime yesterday, 15,000 subscribers, and 20,000 subscribers, and the crazy 40,000 subscribers. One more. To deliver it to my 3 million subscribers. As you know, I hit 4 million subscribers. We hit 10 million subscribers, and just what is upload? 5 million subscribers! What? I hit 6 million subscribers. I hit 8 million subscribers. Giving my 40 million subscriber all 40.
Let's go, we're so close. Oh my gosh, wow! We did it! Oh, they're gonna throw confetti on me. We hit 100 million subscribers!
Thanks for watching, guys. I really
Oh
hope
my
you
gosh, there's
enjoyed.
this
More
many people
timelines
waiting to
coming
sub?
soon.
Oh, you monsters. You made me wait. Oh my god.